You were a chronicler.
I was.
For the Second Empire.
Correct.
You must have some stories to tell.
By the way you're looking at me, I get the impression you won't have time for my stories.
That depends. How many of them are lies?
I wish most of them were lies.
Is that so? Tell me then, how doomed are we?
I don't know.
Are you a chronicler for them as well?
Not exactly.
Then how are you involved exactly?
The long story made short is I wrote the Omen of Rust.
Now we might be getting somewhere. And what is it about?
No air of skepticism. You have heard about it before.
Something like that.
Another long story made short. It is what ended the Battle of Bast and reduced the area to what you see now.
Interesting. You of all people have the most to answer for.
Considering I'm their leader, that comes with the territory.
I'm not talking about the fact that you're the leader of anything. I'm talking about the fact that you don't seem to exist.
Clearly only you believe that.
A former samurai, huh? Tell me then, what clan did you originally belong to?
Clan Shimura.
You think you're being funny?
In my experience, my sense of humor never made anyone laugh.
So what's the plan then? Will you now deny the fact that in all the records about the samurai of the new moon I dug up, there isn't one single mention of an Oyun ever existing? Or will you also deny the fact that in records of the eastern United Cities there never was an Oyun mentioned anywhere?
I suppose whatever I choose to do, I can do this all day and all night. You don't seem to have the luxury of time, however.
You're right. Maybe I'll get really desperate. Maybe I will have to convince you to cooperate, or one of your friends here will have to endure unimaginable torment.
Why not torture me? If you don't believe I was once a samurai, then your methods of interrogation should work wonders. Besides, I have reason to believe that if I decide to crack now, I will lose the others' respect completely. Not that I'm doing that well in their estimates, considering this is the second time I'm in this situation.
I have reasons to believe I got to know one of them enough that she will in fact not appreciate paying for your insolence.
But you won't do that.
And why is that, Oyun?
Because if that was on the table, it would have been the first thing you'd have gone for. Sometimes I can get a good read on people. I don't think this is your style at all.
The fact that I've had my bluffs called twice within the same week. Normally I should be furious. Maybe even assume I'm losing my touch. You're correct, Oyun. It is not my style. I don't want to hurt that young lady, and I most certainly won't. I will, however, present her to Emperor Tengu. I believe she would make a fine lady-in-waiting for His Highness. And from what I can tell, she's both of age and not bad-looking. In fact, she's exactly Tengu's type. Not too young, but not too old either. So how about it, Oyun? Shall I start making those arrangements now? Are you ready to make that call for her? Or will you stop playing games with me and just tell me who in the hell you really are? What do you really want to do with this sixfold ruin? And what connection do you have with the Gekizan disaster?
Ma'am?
What part of I am not to be interrupted under any circumstance was beyond your comprehension, Alden?
The part where I am heavily outranked, ma'am.
What's that supposed to mean?
There's someone here that's requesting an immediate audience with you. He insisted it cannot wait.
Unless this is Lord Yoshinaga himself, tell him he has 10 seconds to leave or else.
Rinla, don't be so harsh on the lad. He is only performing his duties after all.
Whatever this is, it can wait. Indefinitely as far as I'm concerned. Now get out and close the door behind you. You're letting the wind in.
I see your strong will has remained intact.
And I see you've grown to become hard of hearing.
I'm afraid I am in no position to indulge any of your outbursts. Don't mistake my being here for it not being part of official business.
Like I just explained, whatever this is, it can wait.
I cannot do that, Rinla. I have strict orders, and they involve these guests you have just brought here.
So, how exactly did you say this happened?
Decaying code fragments. Please accept my most humble apologies, my lord.
The less I know about that, the better. I've given him something for the pain. He's not in any danger, but I would recommend some rest. Swallowing is going to be a pain, but that comes with the territory, I'm afraid. Oh, and minimize talking. At least until you feel better.
Are you gonna lash out at us again?
I won't. I swear. I never experienced something like this before, being in another body.
Why did you say you did it again?
I had some stored code that had not yet been deleted. I must have executed the command before it did.
I don't really know who this is. Beep. He is scary.
I don't remember if we ever had a proper chat, Master Beep. But you'll remember we found you in Mongrel.
At least this proves it is him in there.
We were all part of a much larger group. What happened to them?
It's a long story.
It's just like her to do this. Have you all interrogated through the night without letting you get any sleep? You, over by the door. Be a good lad and close it, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it.
Yes, sir.
Fine, you have your audience now. What do you want and whose strict orders are these?
They are from Longan.
If that's the case, then I will turn them over to him.
I appreciate.
After I'm done questioning them.
You feel free to be at ease. In fact, you're free to remove your helmet.
Sir?
You're free to remove your helmet. I want to have a look at you.
Yes, sir.
My word. Rinla, what kind of training are you making him undergo? He looks older than I am. But you're not so young anymore. I remember when you were just a little sprout when he took you in to train you.
That will be all, Berulian.
I am sorry for your loss, lad. I've known him to be a fine teacher, much more patient. Rinla here is also a great teacher, but she doesn't have his patience. Do you, Rinla?
Why are you still here?
I don't think you understand how urgent this all is. To be honest, I was hoping for once you wouldn't be so stubborn and just work with me. Like old times, you know?
Need I remind you that we are both the same rank? As such, you have no authority to barge in here and start taking over my case.
Not take over. Like I said, I do want to work with you. Besides, you and your team have been summoned as well. Then there's this matter as well. What if I did outrank you?
You are no noble.
You wound me deeply. You know I was born to a noble family. But in the context you mean, you are correct. I don't have to be, however, since there is one rank above us that fairly recently was made available with a certain someone's passing.
Tengu would never approve such a thing.
Our emperor is making himself a lot more busier these days, preoccupying his mind with things that shouldn't matter to his highness. You see, Rinla, in most cases, the title the late Takehata Chozu held would have been pointless, considering it was a gift bestowed to him from a friend. Had it not been him holding it, with his passing, that would have been the end of it. But it was him, and he commanded both respect and authority with it. I'm afraid when that happens, a title's meaning and significance do not vanish with the passing of the holder. It gets passed down.
And I suppose you're saying somehow you're now our new commander.
Rin, please don't keep forcing my hand. I know you. I know you really dislike being ordered around when it comes from someone you have no respect for. But yes, I'm afraid that all things considered, my request would be an order.
Will there be anything else? Commander.
Muster everyone up. We're heading out right now.
Alden, remember what I said about dumb luck.
A monkey's paw, ma'am.
All of you, don't worry about whether you have your headgear on or not. I can assure you, Longan does not care. Samurai, move out!
This is so unnecessary.
I'm afraid it's not.
Things aren't going the way you were hoping, I take it.
Be quiet.
This is the reality of the system you serve. You work hard for something and someone else takes the credit. I've seen this happen countless times.
I guess you haven't broken this one yet, which reminds me. You all may consider yourselves our guests on behalf of Longan and the Traders Guild. You may address me as Commander, Berulion, or if you're put off by how fancy my late mother wanted my name to sound, just call me B. I expect no funny attempts will be planned within his domain while we're on our way there.
On our way for what exactly?
You'll see. Your Lordship, I have returned.
Just as I started holding court. Welcome, welcome.
And I have ensured Rinla and her crew are present and accounted for as well, with the exception of 2 of them.
I am honored to be here, sir.
Wonderful. As for the matter of the 2 missing from your crew, are they on a special assignment?
They are, sir.
Always diligent. I like that about you. I like it a lot, in fact. But where are my manners? Everyone, please, be seated. That includes both our guests and Rimla's crew. Go ahead, it's fine. Right now, I'd like to address our two sergeants, and if I have need of you, I'll call you over.
Sergeants.
I will explain after this, Rin.
Actually, let's start with our honored guests, shall we? Which one of you is the leader?
That's me.
The infamous Oyun. Come. Step forward. I've heard a lot of your exploits, both here and outside of here. Let me tell you, if your plan was to spook the higher-ups by announcing yourself as a former samurai of the new moon, mission accomplished. Bravo. If I may ask, why so brazen?
If you want the truth, it was to force the United Cities to make a mistake.
Was it a well-crafted lie?
It was not.
Sir, if I may interject.
Rimla, go ahead.
This man is not who he claims to be. There are no records of him ever existing within any of our ranks to begin with. He even gave the name of a clan that has been extinct for centuries.
If I may be so bold to ask, who, these days, is who one claims he is?
I must insist that this is potentially a serious breach of our security and must be investigated appropriately.
I see. Berulion, what's your take on Rinma's assessment?
In my experience working with her, she has always been sound of mind, thorough, and had excellent deductive skills. I believe her assessment should not be ignored.
And you, Oyun, what do you have to say about this?
I've already said my piece. I am who I say I am, and if anything, this proves the United Cities still has poor record keeping.
That is a lie.
Enough, dear Rinla. That is enough. There's no need to get worked up about this. I've seen many samurai in my time here. I can see he is one for certain. Whether of the new moon or something else, there's no doubting his capabilities. There's no doubting his ability to drive others into a frenzy either. Tell me, Oyun, when the Holy Nation managed to capture you, how did they muck it up so badly?
I escaped with a combination of luck and my crew coming to break me free.
Are they likely to be doing that as we speak?
It's possible.
Possible? You don't trust their intentions this time?
The more motivated ones are far away from here.
I see. So you have some members somewhere, and some somewhere else. So this is why the two mutes aren't here, Rinla. That is your precaution.
Yes, sir.
Excellent work, truly. We can make sure we can extend an invitation to them to be our guests as well.
This may be a grave mistake, sir. If they already escaped the Holy Nation, who's to say what chaos they might unleash to attempt an escape from here?
My dear, I'm afraid you misunderstand greatly. The Holy Nation didn't muck things up because they let him escape. They mucked things up because they were trying to execute him in the first place. It would have been such a waste of a very capable man, whether he is who he claims he is or not.
Sir, surely you don't mean...
I mean to recruit them to our cause, yes. You assume correctly, my dear Rinla. But before we negotiate the finer details, Oyun, I want you to tell me everything you know about this Omen of Rust and the sixfold ruin you're looking for.
How is the boy faring?
Well, more or less.
I noticed you haven't shaved his head yet.
There's something you need to know about him. He seems to be a lot stronger than he looks, despite the state he was in when he got here.
What do you mean?
The way he holds himself, the way he carries and breaks rocks, and muscle. He hasn't been here that long, but he is building muscle quite prominently. And that's considering we're barely keeping him fed.
You think he might have a use outside of being just a slave?
Give us some time to break him first. But yes, I'd say once we do, he'll make a formidable soldier.
What about that old man?
The Scorchlander? His is a different story.
Hey, no, be scared.
What?
Me, friend, you.
Your accent. It sounds familiar.
¿Acento?
Sí. ¿Hablas este idioma?
Es el único idioma que hablo, hijo. El otro no se me da muy bien, ya ves.
¿Eres del noreste como yo?
Sí que lo soy, hijo. Sí que lo soy. No pensé que encontraría a alguien de mi tierra.
Para lo que vale, ¿qué importa de dónde venimos? Vamos a estar aquí hasta que muramos, ¿no?
Sí, nos dolerá la espalda como si fuera a partirse. El viento nos llenará los pulmones de arena. Pero la vida seguirá adelante. Y con ella, también las posibilidades.
Creo que llevas demasiado tiempo aquí, viejo.
Oh, solo llevo aquí... ¿cuánto? 5 años, como mucho.
¿Ah, sí? Con un poco de suerte, quizá yo no llegue a tanto. Supongo que saldré de aquí cuando esté muerto.
No digas eso, hijo. Vamos, si todavía eres demasiado joven para saber de verdad lo que es una mujer, tienes muchas más posibilidades por delante de las que crees.
No creo que importe mucho conocer a una mujer aquí o no.
Claro que el mundo no se acaba aquí.
Estás loco.